Stanley in Pensacola. His wife has been completely deaf for 2.5 years. She started losing her hearing, then she lost hearing in one ear, and now she's completely deaf. But they're having communication issues. Stanley is writing letters and handing them to her. So they're hoping they can find technology that can help them solve their communication problem. But one of the issues is he doesn't have a smartphone.
Well, that's a big problem. Hi there, Stanley.
Hello.
So did Andrew pretty much summarize everything for you?
Spot on. He got it right. We're just had our 54th wedding anniversary, August 15th, and we've not been able to communicate. My wife and I used to sing at church. We can't do that anymore because she can't carry a tune in a bucket now. We need to communicate better.
All right. So, and congratulations on the 54 years of marriage.
Thank you.
And what do you attribute that success to?
I think it's just staying in love with each other.
Well, that certainly helps, doesn't it?
That is in our hearts.
That's it, deep down. All right, let's talk about some ways that you can communicate. Now, first of all, I have to tell you, this trusty old flip phone that you have, it's not doing the job for you.
Correct.
Okay. What I'm envisioning is a couple of different ways that you can communicate. For example, if you had a smartphone, whether it's Samsung or an iPhone or LG or Motorola or any one of the other ones, is that and even a Windows 10 phone that has Cortana, is that you have a virtual voice assistant, okay? So instead of you writing letters and maybe typing things up and giving to her, you guys can be sitting across the table. And the translations happen in real time, Stanley. So you could speak into your phone and say, hey, Siri, take a note for me. And then she'd say, okay, I take a note for you. And you can say, hi, honey, I just wanted to let you know that we're going to be having baked chicken with mashed potatoes and your favorite peas and carrots for dinner tonight. What kind of wine would you like with dinner? And then all that would just magically appear on the screen. Then you could hand the phone to her, and then she can speak into it if she wants to, or she can type a note.
That's not necessary. She can speak right to me.
All right, then you know what? Then that size perfect. Because sometimes when people lose their hearing, they may lose some of their voices as well. And so I just want to make sure that, it would work both ways so you could have this conversation back and forth.
Yeah, it's not the case with her. She speaks very well.
Awesome. That's great. So it's really just a tool for you.
Yes.
Now the question is, what type of smartphone do you buy? And that's where you look at, how much do you want to spend on this? We have the iPhone 6 and the 6S. You could even do this with a tablet if that's what you wanted to. You can keep your flip phone. But the whole idea is that you'd be able to speak directly into this gadget, Stanley, and it would just translate everything that you say in real time.
That's my problem. I think there's so many of them out there, so many different devices. I checked on one that I could get for like a flat rate, and I don't know if I'd have to pay for the phone with it, but of course we're limited on our resources as retired folks.
Sure, and what you're looking for is, let's say you got the smartphone, and I'm just going to say an iPhone 6 or a 6S, okay?
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is that Apple has done a great job with accessibility. It would be a phone that you guys would share. If she gets a text message, say from you or from somebody in the family, the phone would actually flash whenever she gets a text message.
Okay.
So it gives you a lot of different ideas and different ways to use it. But the whole thing is that you could have this instant communication with your wife that you haven't had for the last couple of years.
Yes.
Now, over at my website, if you go to komando.com/chart, Stanley,
yes,
we have the smartphone comparison chart. And that's where you can take a look at what are the differences between all the different iPhones versus the Samsungs versus the LGs and the Motorola's, and the list goes on and on. But you know what? If you and I were sitting across the kitchen table and we were having this conversation, I would say just wait off a couple of weeks before you buy the iPhone 6S. The new iPhone 7 should be here sometime, September. We're looking at September 23rd is when you can actually go out and get one. And what that means is that every time there's a new phone, the old phone actually goes on a little bit of a discount. And so if you can hold off just a little bit, you're probably not going to need the iPhone 7. It's not going to have all these great features that's going to make a difference. We can talk more about that later. But I think if you could get the 6S, it's a nice big screen. It's not a little phone. It'll handle your fingers, and you'll be able to just say, "Hey Siri, tell my wife this," and then she'll go ahead and do that. And again, I'll put some links to some of these apps that I think you'll also find useful, including Skype and some others. And again, thank you for your call.